Alright, welcome back to this lecture series. In this lesson, we'll be looking at the different ways of styling your line plots in MATLAB. So, by default, as we can see, when we plotted the graphs prior to this lesson, the plot came up in the blue line, right? So, we can specify the line style, we can specify the line color, we can specify the markers for the different data points and their own width and style as well. So, let's use this same plot. Let's see y. So y is this and x is 1 through 10. Yep. So we can specify the line style, right? So by default it's just a straight line, and here are the different style options in MATLAB. So this here gives you a solid line. By default it's just a dash. If you want a dashed line, you use two dashes to specify it. If you want a dotted line, you would use a colon. If you want a dash dot line, you would use a dash and a dot. And if you want no line, for instance, if you want only one markers, you would use none as the style. So let's see this an example. So you specify the x and the y, and then you specify the, let's say, the line style. So we want a dashed line. By default it's going to be solid line, which is what we have here, right? So if we want a dashed line, this is now a dashed line, right? We've changed the style of the of the of, of the plot. If we want a dotted line, it changes now to a dotted line. If we want a dash and a dot, we would have this dash dot dash dot. And if we want no line, there is but invalid color. Okay, so all right. So this is another way. You can either specify it just as a string here, or you explicitly state that you want the line style. How do I put it? You explicitly state that the line style option is what you're trying to change. Okay, so I can do it this way. Okay, right. So you can do that with all the other options, all the other line styles. So you just specify that you want the line style to change, just the line style to change, and then the next option that next argument you pass in will be the specific line style you're setting. So now let's look at the color, changing the color now. So to change the color, we can specify it as a string. So there are a number of color options. So let's come over here, color options. So we have red, green, blue, cyan, magenta, yellow, black, and white. Right. So RGB, CM, Y, K, and W. So let's try this out. So if I put in R, so by default my line style here is going to be a solid line, right? Solid red line. You can have blue, you can have black, but this is dark mode, so black is going to be invisible. You can have cyan, you can have yellow, right? Okay, so you can also specify explicitly that you will be changing the color attributes. Okay. So make sure it's not small letter C, I think. Okay, it is. You can use anyone, small or capital letter, but you should use, like for line style, for instance, you should make sure that it's not let's see if you can do it this way. All right, yes you can. All right, so very good. Now you can specify multiple formatting styles. So this is the line style. Let me use line style and then color. Oops. say yellow. So line style dotted color yellow, I'll have a yellow dotted line. Right, so you can explicitly state out the what do you call it, the options that you're trying to set, or second option would be to combine them. So you can combine the line style and the color in the same string like this. So MATLAB knows that if you're passing in a colon, that means you're specifying the line style. If you're passing in the color, this yellow Y, you're specifying a color. So if I do this now, let's change this to red so that we'll see. So we'll have a red dotted line. So the two formats will be applied. Okay? So you don't have to specify this individually. You can combine them like this. So we've seen the line style and the color. We can also set markers. So for this data point, for this data point, for this data point, I want a marker to show the specific locations for each data point. And there are a number of markers in MATLAB. Okay, so there's line width too. So let's look at the line width. So specify line width. You explicitly state it out, and then you pass in the number. Okay, so let's increase the line width. Oops. So this will now be twice the thickness, twice the width, 3 times the width, right, and so on. Now the markers. So there are a lot of markers that you can use. So you have circle, O for circle, plus for plus sign, asterisk, point, dot for point, X for the X mark, and so on. So let's try a few of them. Let's try the diamond, the circle, plus triangle. So marker O. So we'll have the circles at the data points now. You can have D for diamonds. This will now change. Let me use a yellow so that it will be brighter. We'll now have diamonds. Let's do B for upside down triangle. I think it's caret for right side up triangle. Yeah, you can have plus, to have a plus sign. You can have X or the X sign. You can also have pentagram and hexagram. Right side, right pointing triangle, left sided triangle, square, point, asterisk, and so on. So whatever marker you want at your data points, you can just specify, and we can also combine them, combine the three formats like this. So the first one here is the line style, this is the color, this is the marker, right? So let's change the line style to dash dot, let's change the color to magenta, and let's change this to pentagram. So there's no overlap between the line style, the marker, and the color. So each character that you pass in here is unique. So MATLAB will be able to identify that the M here is color, P here is the marker. So if you arrange it in any order, if you arrange it in any order, H for hexagram, dot dash for line style, or dash dash for line style, and then M for magenta, it will still know that H is for marker, dash dash is for line style, and M is for color. So there will be no mix up. Okay, so that's the line marker. We can also specify the marker with the marker size. Sorry. So the marker size specify 12. I mean, for instance, here you specify it explicitly. The marker size and the line width you specify explicitly. Right, since because they are numbers that you're passing in, not characters. So let's go back. So marker size. So let's go 10. This now will become bigger. I wonder how far we can go. Wow. All right. So that's the marker size. So these are different ways of specifying your lines, and it's very easy, very easy to get what's it lost trying to format your graphs to look more beautiful. Okay. So that's it for this lesson.